Numbers are a pretty basic data type, and in JavaScript, they're drop-dead simple. In many languages, there are several different types of numbers. Types for integers and decimals, large numbers, small numbers, etc. In JavaScript, a number is a number. You specify it just by typing the digits. Now let's try some live coding. Open up your console, and as I go through these examples, try them out yourself. And feel free to pause the video and try out some other examples on your own. So, all normal mathematical functions you'd expect to work with numbers generally do. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. There's also the percent sign, which is the modulus operator, also called the division remainder. If you divide 13 by 5, you'll get 2 with a remainder of 3. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13. The modulus operator gives you that remainder. Now sometimes you want to add a value to a variable and store the result back in that variable. You could say var total equals 10, and then total equals total plus 5. So you're adding 5 to total and then storing the result, 15, back in total. But there's a shortcut. The add and assign operator. Just say total plus equals 5. This adds 5 to whatever is in total and stores it back there. So now total contains 20. These type of operators exist for subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus as well. A common action is to keep track of how many times something has happened. You can set a variable like count to 0, and then each time something happens, add 1 to it by saying count plus equals 1. But this is so common that there's a shortcut, plus plus, the increment operator. So you can say plus plus count, and that adds 1 to whatever is in count. There's an alternate version where you put the plus plus after the variable. This does the same thing, but the timing is a bit different. When you use the plus plus before the variable, it's called a prefix operator. This will add 1 to the variable, and then that variable will be used in whatever statement it's contained within. If the plus plus comes after the variable, it's called a postfix operator. The original value of the variable will be used in the statement, and after that, 1 is added to the variable. So right now, the value of count is 2. If I type count plus plus, the console logs the value of 2, and then adds 1 to it. If I type count again by itself, you can see that it actually did get incremented. Try this a few times on your own until you fully understand it. Now, math in JavaScript generally follows all the same rules for orders of operations. So for 1 plus 1 times 2, it will do the multiplication first, 1 times 2 equals 2, and then the addition, 1 plus 2 equals 3. And you can use parentheses to change the order of operations. Here I'm saying 1 plus 1 equals 2 first, then 2 times 2 equals 4. And that's about all there is for numbers themselves. But if you're going to be doing a lot with numbers, you'll find the math library in JavaScript very handy. This is a collection of common and very useful math functions. You access it by typing math dot plus the name of the function. For example, the math.max function takes 2 or more numbers and returns the value of the larger one. So math.max 510 is 10. Math.sqrt gives you the square root of a number. And there's math.round for rounding numbers to the nearest whole number. And math.random gives you a random number between 0 and 1. If you want a number in a higher range like 0 to 100, just multiply the random number by 100. There are many more math functions, including a full complement of trigonometric and logarithmic functions, in case you ever need to do any more serious math. You can check out the documentation for the math object here if you want to know what else is there. So that's a quick look at numbers in JavaScript. Next up, we'll cover Booleans and conditional operations.